A month into ranked and there are some serious issues. Objectively, things are not great. But who is making things worse this season? The community or Respawn? My name is Flame078, the normal gamer, breaking down Apex from the average perspective. So today, let's talk Season 17 ranked 1 month later. It does not take a genius to see the flaws in this season. However, I want to be upfront. I'm still 100% on board with this direction. More normal players are playing and having fun. It is a good change for the player base. Ranked is now moving towards the true version of competitive Apex. We are so close to a perfect experience. But these key issues are bad. And if we're gonna wait 2+ months to take care of them, none of the changes or the goodwill of the direction will matter. So what are these issues? Players' concept of matchmaking is just wrong, and even though the system is working as designed, because the brain-dead community does not understand the system, they are creating false narratives. Respawn royally messed up by not making losing hurt at all. Now, these two issues are sort of separate in the sense that they're kind of different problems, but they can be solved together. But the Master Plus experience combined with the Streamer Creator experience is really bad. The amount of being able to not play the game that is allowed in ranked is horrible and is a complete oversight from Respawn. And all these issues combined are giving players less reasons to play the game for the full 90-day season. So, are these issues made worse by the players, or is it completely on Respawn? Let's break it down. The community is blowing up the issues of matchmaking and making things seem much worse than they really are. This is due to them not grasping the changes and being brain dead towards the new system, which is completely different than what we had. For starters, understand that the rank badge does not mean what it used to. Stop being butthurt about having predators or master players in your silver and gold lobbies. Lobbies are being formed from a hidden MMR system that represents how close players are to each other in terms of skill. It is purposefully not directed and tied to the rank badge. They stated that before the season started. Your placement matches are not supposed to work the same way the soft reset did. Stop complaining you're starting from bronze or silver after you completed the 10 matches. The rank grind from now on is from 0 ladder points to wherever you want to get. So it is from rookie to masters to predator every single time. The placement matches are there to help calibrate your MMR and give you a small boost ahead of that 0 to high ladder. With the amount of terrible behavior from players, like being mad about playing placements so they just play poorly, being mad that their kills are not being priority so they're, using exploits, all hurt and trick the matchmaker into thinking two players are of equal skill. It is the community's fault for not playing the game correctly that issues are happening in this season. However, I would be remiss to avoid talking about a huge rising issue with matchmaking. But that is tied to one of the other issues that I'll be discussing in a bit. So please put down your pitchforks and angry comments. I will talk about the issue up ahead. So yeah, the community does suck, but Respawn can make tweaks to the current system and make adjustments. So I just want to iterate to the players that you have to keep playing in order for the data to be more accurate. That way Respawn can make the changes needed. However, Respawn, how the hell did you completely fail on the next couple of issues? A flat 35 cost to play ranked seems like such an oversight from Respawn. The players have every right to complain about this one. Let us ignore the fact that players are behaving like morons, because honestly they're just taking advantage of such a positive rank point system. So it's not the community's fault. Respawn designed a flawed system. The reality is most average players will leave a ranked session with positive points, and that is going to inflate the rank distributions. Even from my own personal journey, there was rarely a session that I played, and I haven't played any differently than I did from previous seasons. I was mostly positive every single session. Look at the screenshots on screen. It is extremely hard to even derank, even if you are playing the most brain dead way possible. I said as much in my previous video. With each division being 1,000 points, and say you're at the end of going to the next division, you can comfortably lose 28 games before even getting out of a division, let alone D-rank. I myself personally been enjoying the fact that losing does not hurt as much as I was getting to Diamond, but that was mainly due to the fact that I have a bias as a solo queue player, because the solo queue experience is still kind of awful. However, it was made much better this season because losing did not hurt. But objectively, this is bad. It has to hurt to lose, but more importantly, you have to be able to lose a lot of points and able to slow the distribution of ranks. Like, look at this graph with the sample size of over 3 million players. It is no wonder that players are getting to the highest of ranks and moving up to masters pretty easily. It doesn't exclude the fact that a lot of matches can be competitive, really tough, really chaotic, awesome end games. Like, that doesn't matter. The end of the day is there's too much leeway and too many ways to gain points and not enough ways to lose. As a side note, I want to let y'all know that I will be releasing my Road to Diamond series coming in the next month and covering certain games and talking about my personal subjective experience of ranked this season. If you enjoy this analytical content, and I do try to be as objective as possible here, then I encourage you to hit that subscribe button, because I don't want you to miss out on that. Maybe I'll give you a few tips and pointers in your goals for Apex Ranked. So just a thought, but anyways, let us continue being objective here. Why does Respawn not understand high level Apex? So the experience of Master Plus players and, creators and pro players are really intertwined, but they're not really the same problem. For starters, I want to be upfront. Creators and pro players do not matter. I repeat, they do not matter at all as players. They are second-class citizens when it comes to rank. This is due to the fact that they are the minority and are expected to blow through even the perfect rank system. It is their job. And once it is their job, they move away from being priority for any game system. Like, come on, it is no surprise that one of the best IGLs in the game can direct randoms to top 5 literally every game. It is no surprise that most top players who play 10 plus hours a day get to the highest ranks within like the first weeks, or just in general really fast. For once, Apex community, stop being brain dead. Are there issues? Yes, not negating that. But to use so-and-so creator, so-and-so pro as the base of your argument for you to say rank sucks is really brain dead and stupid. However, matchmaking is not working as intended, or is it? A lot of high-level Master Plus players are barely getting any bonus ladder points and solely only getting points for placement, which means that their lobbies are below their skill level. From the explanation that we got from Respawn how the bonuses work, they factor in the MMR of the lobby, and the bonus you get gets smaller if your lobby is easier than it's supposed to be. And this is becoming a constant thing for a lot of Master Plus players and even streamers and creators. So technically, on that explanation alone, it is working as intended. Though here lies some issues. Respawn stated that the balance of the lobby should be taking priority over short queue times. So why is this a constant thing? And also, this issue seems to expand to other ELOs as well, which means there is something seriously wrong in the bonus LP code, because it is clear that we are getting just as much unbalanced lobbies as we did in season 13. That is not competitive, which goes to something I have said previously. The Master Plus experience is just bad because Respawn does not understand what these lobbies are supposed to look like, and it shows. If Respawn's goal is to have like 9 teams ALGS style in the final ring as the expectation for how every master lobby is supposed to go, then why is Respawn not making it worthwhile to participate in that? I have stated this in the past. Competitive Apex is pretty intense and a slow going experience. I feel unless you're getting paid to do it, the amount of people wanting to constantly participate in that type of environment just gets smaller as you move through the ranks, and is now only made worse by the fact that ranked is now 90 days, so people are dropping off once they feel comfortable getting the rank rank that they want. So the continued neglect by Respawn in this aspect is pretty absurd. They need to define what these lobbies are supposed to look like and create incentives for people to participate at the high end. I was hopeful when they discussed that they were going to account for ratting and a bunch of other stuff in the new system, but it is clear Respawn messed this up and just didn't do enough. The Apex community is filled with a bunch of brain dead people who love being toxic and love just finding ways to do dumb things because they have a perverse and wrong way of thinking of how competitive Apex is going to be. That is a constant factor over the 4 years that I've learned of this game. But that aside, it is still a clear oversight from Respawn to not even try to make it so players cannot abuse the system. Like the whole killing the same person band-aid was such a small, minuscule thing that it doesn't account for all the other nonsense that was going on in ranked prior. Why are players being able to get away with sitting in ring for more than half the game? Why is hiding in a bush being rewarded? I do want to just interject here real quick and say, in my personal experience as I was climbing to Diamond, it was a very small percentage of my games where I found players actively behaving in a toxic manner. Most of my randoms that I played with really wanted to play the game, and yeah, sure, an increase of them wanted to just play slow until 10th, but again, that's fine. Okay, cool, we'll still go push fights, we'll still go do what we need to do, but we were actively playing the game. But the whole I'm gonna break off and hide in a little bush, to me at least, as I climbed to Diamond, was kind of rare. But it is clear with everything going on in the conversation of ranked Apex that this is on an all-time high, and it is a serious issue, and Respawn has yet to do something about this. And all this together makes it so this season is where the players are the most not motivated to play. Why? Because with the time of 90 days, whether you are playing for real and working on improving or just cheesing the game, you're gonna get the badge that you want. And then what are you going to participate in Apex? You're gonna play Mixtape, the COD ripoff? Are you gonna participate in the terrible Recolor Collection event with most likely a reused LTM? Or are you gonna play Pubs, which is a shit show as always? Are you going to try to grind the weapon mastery system, which to be honest is a joke? Like, what are we left with here in terms of playing for 90 days? Respawn made some good changes and a good direction where we're moving towards a competitive version of the game, but with all these other issues, you're creating a reason for players not to play throughout the 90 days. I have extremely been enjoying ranked, and I'm excited to push myself to maybe see if I get masters, you know, just to participate in those lobbies. But overall, even myself, I'm seeing a demotivation to play Apex. So once again, putting it out there for people to just hopefully take to Respawn. These are the things that I would think we need to change ASAP. Entry cost needs to be modified in order for them to make losing hurt. I like the idea that the jump from platinum and up, you get a cost increase like we had in the past. We have to slow the amount of people getting into the higher ranks, and we have to do that by making sure losing hurts. That way we know the people who get to the higher ranks, we know they belong there. Players personally, the community themselves just need to get over and stop comparing, one, to the old system, and two, having this terrible notion of what competitive Apex is. Competitive Apex is slow going because we have to reduce the RNG nature of the game, and it's going to be a crowded ring 3 with like 10 plus teams because that's just the nature of how competitive Apex goes. It's slow going and it's not Call of Duty. If you really can't sit still for like 2 seconds, then leave the game. But just know that you are stupid to think that you cannot be aggressive in competitive Apex. And yes, I'm ignoring the fact that right now, yes, they have totally diminished the incentive to fight, but regardless, even when we had incentives to fight, people were still being stupid, so the community is still at fault. Respawn definitely needs to change some mechanics in order to disallow staying in ring or just hiding in a bush. I personally think to solve a lot of things besides changing the ring damage and whatnot is to make placement ladder points a factor of sorts, like the bonus system. What I mean is the placement LP works as is, you'll get 200 for a win, but for example, if it'll take into a factor what you did in the game, like how much damage or how many medkits you popped off, something that doesn't have to be super concrete, but in general, it'll take into the factors like, did you actually play in the game or were you just riding or not participating? And you will lose LP from placement to account for the fact that you really don't deserve getting that many points because you really didn't play the game. To solve the high-end experience and, the streamer experience as a whole, I do believe we need to add an additional mode or something along the lines to make the master players be engaged. It's just masters and grinding for 750 predator spots, and that is boring because, as we see now, grinding predator is like a full-time job, and that is not fun. I personally think maybe the people who get to these ranks unlock a new queue that say works like ALGS, where you get points for placement and 1 point per kill that you get, and it's like a leaderboard type thing, and only players that get to masters unlock this, right? So master and predator players unlock this queue, and it's a whole leaderboard thing, and they queue into it, solo queue, no stacking, so that way those that participate in this have additional bragging rights and additional rewards from that, maybe a new different badge, maybe cool cosmetics. But either way, these players who are active, these are your dedicated players who grind the game a lot in a 90-day season of ranked, are going to get bored really fast, because regardless, like I said, even in a perfect system, I think within the first month these players are going to get the high ranks, so they need more to do. I love that placement matters. I love going into ring 2 and 3 with more than 10 squads left. I truly think this is going towards the most competitive version of Apex, and I'm super happy to enjoy and participate in ranked like this. And I think the community needs to get on board, but also Respawn equally and more so needs to just be on top of issues. I don't like the fact that they're taking so long, and I just definitely don't like the fact that they are not communicating. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. My name is Flame078. Until next time, adios.